created?
Oh yeah, I mean that's everyone's different, and every player has a different build and a different preference for how they play on the floor. So I can't really recommend just like one loadout or one set of badges that works for everybody. But yeah, everyone's got their favorites. I love being a bully as a slasher. I'm still kind of a play shot too, so I like midi magician a lot. That's my DeMar DeRozan badge. Our bigs, they love anchor because that's one that's just gonna like make everybody miss everything in the paint if you're nearby, and you'll be sending away shots. There's going to be a lot of variation, I think, this year, and just a lot of ways to play the game.
So for people that are new to playing NBA 2K23, Mike, explain how the badge system
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
To celebrate our nation, that was Skylar Cole with tonight's national anthem performance. Welcome to the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action on 2K Sports. With David Aldridge on our sideline, and here with me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, this is Kevin Harlan. Hey, Dave.
Well, thank you very much. Now, the NBA has accepted that this is an era of player movement. Commissioner Adam Silver says the data shows that superstars moving isn't necessarily a bad thing because it allows situations to change. Teams that may not be in a competitive position hope that they can sign one of those players. And as we know, Kevin, hope springs eternal.
It always does. It keeps the fans involved and looking for more. David, thanks. And the Clippers starting five. Down in the block, it'll be Kawhi next to Zubac. The guard and off guard, filled by Jackson and Powell. And it's George in at the small forward. And for San Antonio, the 4 and the 5, it's Johnson and Pirtle. Jones is out there with Devin Vassell. And it's Richardson in at the small forward position. Here we have two first-year head coaches, Steve. That being said, how long does it take for teams to learn a new system under these new coaches?
Kevin, is easy. If you have a veteran team, less time. If you have a younger team, it could take some time. You just have to be patient if you have younger guys.
Whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play. That'll put Paul George on the line. That one on Richardson.
Well, in spite of the critics and the injuries, Paul George continues to produce one of the league's truly elite players.
And you mentioned the injuries for Paul George. Let's see, GA, the broken leg, shoulder surgeries, last season a torn elbow ligament.
And I'm sure there are a few others, Kevin, but give him credit. To battle through and maintain his greatness tells you something about his competitive will.
Now, here's Richardson, coming off a stellar performance against Toronto.
A little pick and roll action. Richardson very unselfish. Hits the man with a nice catchable pass.
And so it's Jackson who brings it up for Los Angeles. Leonard on the wing. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jakob Poeltl. That's his first foul. And the Clippers making a change here. Man's checked in.
Coming onto the floor for the Clippers, Terrence Mann.
And here are the Clippers now. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. The three from George. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. George has got 6.
And this is the way to stretch the floor. PG-13 with a good look from the corner. He nails it.
And it's Richardson slamming it down.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Here's Jackson after the basket by San Antonio. Makes it off the glass.
Look, this is how you draw it up coming out of the locker room. 3 of 3 so far.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Jackson against Jones. And it's Vassell in the corner. Poeltl with a screen on George. Here's Richardson. He is hauled in by Paul George. Clippers have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And you know, for so long, many joked about how the Spurs were always too old, right? Too old, too slow, too stuck in their same ways. But that's changing.
Well, I was on a couple of those teams too, Kevin. I remember well, people said that the Spurs were too old and needed to get younger. And over the last few years, they've done exactly that.
Here's Johnson. Paul George making his last shot. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen. And let's check out a breakdown looking at some of the stats for Keldon Johnson. For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 of 4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Jackson against Jones. Jackson gets the bucket.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
And a look at the Mobile One drive. Driving right into your living room.
And the awareness of his footwork and body on that drive. Wow. Jones with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Jones, the pass to Poeltl. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Coming into this, having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Yeah, facing that hostile crowd, they've just found a way to kind of tune out the noise and focus on the game.
What was beautiful, it was a tremendous game plan coming in. You saw the execution, and you saw the results.
And now, the first timeout called here for the Spurs. look now for San Antonio. Zach Collins checked in for Perk. Roby comes in for Keldon Johnson. And Keita Bates-Diop subbed in for Josh Richardson. Spurs trail by 10. We've got 1:55 left in the first. Here's Vassell. There's the pass to Jones. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Roby. They need this one. No good on the shot. Good D by Covington.
And guys, talk about the production that Covington brings to the table.
Yeah, he's been with quite a few teams, but he's been a starter most of his career. His presence on the defensive end, getting to the rim and scoring it, has been a treat.
And San Antonio has possession. Nicholas Batum missing from long range.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, defensively, your mantra at this point has to be no easy buckets.
So it's the Clippers now, following the bucket by the Spurs. The shot, again, Los Angeles.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
And it's helped them build an early lead. They just need to stay aggressive.
Now, here's Vassell. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Toronto. Clippers leading by 10. Down low, here's Covington. The shot's good on the assist by Morris.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
They established the pace. They made shots. This is why they're way out in front.
And here's Jones. He definitely had a good game in their win against the Raptors. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Boston. And the Clippers getting another bucket right there.
And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
This is my type of approach. Get some high percentage looks. Then later, you can play inside out.
Here's Jones. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the Clippers. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Right back after this break. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Clippers.
For me, it's all about playing downhill. They've been making it look easy to find penetration in this one, attacking the lanes and forcing the issue with the D.
And I really liked how they moved the ball tonight. Because of this selfless approach, they are piling up the assists.
For decades, the Clippers were almost directionless, but they found their place in the NBA, becoming a franchise that competes in the West.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. Out on the wings for them, Powell and George. And it's Wall. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Coffey in at the 4. Los Angeles leading by 14. Zubac kicks to Wall. Here's George. That's his 4th basket of the game, and he's only taken 4 shots. Off to a good start. And the West, we know, is very difficult. But, Steve, for the Clippers, how much of their success is tied to their identity?
Kevin, a lot of it. They become a hard-nosed team, hanging their hat on defense, playing together, making opponents earn everything they get.
Now, here's Richardson. No good from 11 feet. Now George. 11 points for him in that last game against Houston. Powell, that's good.
And they're getting points, they're getting stops, and this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Yes, when it's going good, it feels easy. These are the nights you relish, but they're tough to replicate.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, for 22 straight years, San Antonio made the playoffs. But they haven't made the last 3 postseasons, and former Spur Robert Horry worries if they'll ever be relevant again, saying, "I hate to say that. San Antonio is a small market. Guys just aren't going to go there." And that's a dire prediction for such a storied and successful franchise, Kevin.
Wow, no kidding, David. All right, thank you. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And the shot goes in.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. Takes a 3. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
It's one of those nights where George's number has been called time after time.
Here's Jones. That shot, no good. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. They're getting their first look of the season at San Antonio in this one.
And they lost the season series against this squad last year, so trying to bounce back here tonight.
Now, here's Zubac. Johnson with the rebound. You know, Steve, the persistent growth of Keldon Johnson is pretty impressive.
It is, Kevin. He is obviously receptive to good coaching and is committed to finding success here in the league. Almost across the board, you see his stats creeping up season to season.
George with the ball. He's defended by McDermott. Yep, that one goes.
Continuing to stoke the fire, his shot making has been absolutely superb.
And now about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. It ended in the bubble, but how about the Spurs playoff streak? 22 consecutive seasons, Greg, coming to an end.
Kevin, making it every year from 1998 to 2019, winning 5 titles over that span, and having the same head coach certainly helped that streak. So did having, though, a couple Hall of Fame.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Zach Collins checked in for Jang. Roby comes in for Johnson. Keita Bates-Diop's checked in for Doug McDermott. And it's Vassell in for Jones. A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Robert Covington's checked in for Amir Coffey. Kawhi Leonard comes in for George. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Norman Powell. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for John Wall. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. Vassell, no good. And it's the Clippers' ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Covington passes to Jackson. A 3 from Leonard. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Bates-Diop.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one. And so here are the Clippers. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. And that game will kick off a 4-game homestand. Hits the three-point bomb.
I like when Reggie Jackson is seeking out his teammates. He could have took that shot, but his teammate, he was wide open.
They set the screen. Shot from the low block. And it comes off the front of the rim. Clippers have gotten nearly everything to fall for them here in the second quarter. They're a great 7 of 8 from the floor. 55 seconds left here in the second. Yep, that one goes in there. Jackson's got 6.
The aggressiveness of Jackson, able to drive and convert against tight defense.
Pass to Roby. Up top, Vassell. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. It's Richardson on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. To the middle. Here's Collins. Goes up again. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Back in the day, someone would have blocked him out, but times have changed.
The Spurs shooting their first free throw tonight. Morris is checked in for Zubac.
Zach Collins at the line for one.
One shot.
And that one falls for Collins. 27 seconds left in the first half of the game. Outside, Covington. Kennard for 3. Rebounded by the Spurs. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And boy, did that game nearly get away from them, but they were a little bit fortunate to have survived at the end of regulation.
They were extremely lucky. I think they took their opponent for granted a little, and it nearly cost them.
There's Jackson with the 3. It's good from long range. Jackson's got 5 points now this quarter.
I'll tell you, that is such a quick pull-up. One of Jackson's more effective moves.
Spurs 17. The Clippers 43.
Here with Ty Lue, good rhythm for your offense in the first half. What did you like about the start?
Moving the basketball, taking the right shot, making the right play. We make the extra pass, we're a tough team to beat.
And you were sure tough in the first half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
We'll get to the first half action in just a second, but first, let's take a look at where teams are sitting in the power rankings.
You take a look at the Spurs, it's been a tough week for them, getting only one win in 4 games since the last power ranking.
It's not the end of the world. They had some bad breaks, but if they keep playing like this, nothing good is going to happen.
Now let's talk about our game tonight. A nightmare of a first half for the San Antonio Spurs.
Just bad interior defense from them throughout the half. They're getting pushed around, not protecting the rim, allowing easy looks. That's the kind of D I love to face. I've had at least 30 by now, guys.
Thank you for being with us. Now let's send it to Kevin Harlan for the second half tip.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. It's been one outstanding game from George.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
I think both sides probably adjusted a few things. The key for him is to bring the same level of energy over these last 2 quarters.
The 4 and the 5, it's Johnson and Pirtle. Devin Vassell out there with Jones, and it's Richardson in at the 3. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. And home court advantage can give teams a huge lift. Greg, how different is it playing in front of the hometown fans?
It's huge. I mean, they give you energy. You don't want to let them down, so you tend to dig a little deeper when you're playing at home.
Can't blame the defense for going on that shot fake. Pirtle is very skilled at doing this.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
That free throw missing.
And you look at Jakob Pirtle, great touch and presence inside the paint. Can get you with a move or just power his way to the hoop.
And he's good on the second. And Greg Pirtle has so many options to score inside.
And that's why he's such an efficient scorer, Kevin. Very composed at the rim. Doesn't need a lot of time to get his shot off inside.
And the shot is good.
I love how Kawhi gets to his spots. He won't let the defense throw him off.
Spurs shooting at 36%. They really seem out of sync offensively. Here's Jones. Kicks it out to Johnson. And that comes off the assist by Jones. Jones has got his third assist on the night. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Pass to Powell. Bucket is good. Powell's got 7.
Terrific game plan coming out of halftime. A perfect 3 for 3 from the field.
And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
Look at Devin. He's all over the rim.
L.A. has gone 7 of 9 on three-pointers tonight. Outstanding mark from long range. Jackson passes to Powell. Outside Leonard. Good on the bucket. Leonard's got 7 now in this quarter.
The power, the length, the ability to finish. Leonard dominant in that painted area.
Passes to Vassell. Leonard against Johnson. To the inside. Stolen by Zubac. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. We've heard about player tracking on the court, but now shot tracking is helping players refine their strokes. It measures not just makes or misses, but the arc and the depth and the left to right direction of shots. These systems provide instant feedback to shooters and help them find the bottom of the net. Kevin, back to you.
Sign me up. That is a fascinating story. David, thank you. This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And he deserves a lot of credit for what he was able to do at the line last year. 86% from the stripe.
That free throw good from George.
In my opinion, one of the most talented two-way players of this generation. Paul George has stayed humble throughout his success and has shown that he is willing to do whatever it takes to win.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Jang, he's checked in for Pirtle. Roby comes in for Johnson. And McDermott subbed in for Jones. And George drops them both. Some things change here in the league, but a little trash talk still seems, Steve, like a key component to the game. I'm having a hard time remembering. Did you partake in that?
I did, Kevin, but I didn't call it trash talk. We just talked, and you tried to get into your opponent's head. And also, for me, I played better when I was talking.
San Antonio making a switch here. Bates Diop's checked in. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Coffey's checked in. Clippers have gotten every shot that dropped since halftime. They're 5 for 5 from the floor. Jackson deciding where to go with it.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
1:58 left to play in the third. It's good.
This is what you get from Reggie Jackson now. Powering through contact and has the focus to complete the play.
For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. The pass to Roby. Jang with the ball. Covered by Morris. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead. And since 1999, the Clippers and Lakers have shared their downtown LA arena, the only NBA teams to split a venue, but that's going to change soon.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Oh, what an impressive dribble drive. That replay brought to you by Mobile One.
And a drive like that one can be a knockout punch. Great finish at this juncture.
Now here's McDermott, still looking for his first bucket in this one. The Clippers broke ground on their new arena, set to open in Inglewood in 2024. I've seen the footprint. You fly right into LAX, and you see it every time. It's going to be beautiful.
And that'll be huge for the Clips. They're trying to create their own identity in Southern California. Having a venue just for the Clippers will help.
.44 seconds left in the third quarter.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Pass to Chang. Back to Vassell. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. 4 on the shot clock. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Roby can't hit.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
All you see is a lot of frustration. Someone needs to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
It's Powell on the wing. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
It's impressive, the level of domination at both ends, and you're seeing the results.
Especially considering it's on the road in front of a tough crowd. They've been able to block out the distractions.
And so it's Los Angeles with a huge lead at the break. Safe to say there's no catching them today. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And we'll be back with you shortly. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Fundamental basketball. Keep your eyes up. Keep the ball moving. You're going to keep the defense on its heels.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. And the Clippers have possession. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Wall and Powell are the guard set. Morris is out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Coffey in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Leonard. Off target with the jump hook. Here's Primo. Inside. And finished off by Collins.
Great pass to set your man up with a high percentage look.
And so it's Wall. He brings it up for the Clippers. Well, Greg, we're seeing high schoolers now making 6 figures to play basketball. I bet you wouldn't have minded that in your time, would you?
I tell you what, it beats delivering the newspaper, right? It's still fresh and developing, but a lot of different opportunities are emerging.
And San Antonio has possession. Clippers able to drain the 3. Here's Primo. He's covered by Leonard. Great D that time from Leonard. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Here's Coffey. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Manu Ginobili, Hall of Fame class of 2022. He played his entire career in San Antonio. And in 2003, Manu's rookie season, we won a ring together.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. And seeing Manu as a rookie, Smitty, what were your early impressions?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, Kevin, he was unpredictable. He was definitely NBA ready. He had already been a pro for 7 years before he came over, and he played an important role for us winning that title.
And the Spurs making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Spurs shooting has been wayward so far, only 37% from the floor. Here's Primo, covered by Wall. To the right side. Here's Sohan. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Now here's Wall. And he's on the money with his first shot today. Wall's got his first basket of the night.
Oh, you got to honor Wall from there, showing how effective he can be from that spot on the floor.
The sweep crossover two.
I mean, it's just fun to sit back and enjoy watching him operate. And that's what it looked like the D was doing as well. They're just sitting back and watching.
And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. All with it. And for a while there, Greg, it seemed like we were entering the super team era. But lately, homegrown talent, players you draft and develop or sign and develop, seems to be the way teams are going.
Yeah, and it's not easy to maintain a culture when you're bringing in stars from outside. We've seen some cautionary examples here of late.
And it's Sohan missing.
I'm not sure the defense affected that shot. That was just a blown gimme.
Out to the right wing. Here's Coffey. That falls. Nice feed that time from Leonard. Coffey's got a couple of three-pointers now in the fourth for the Clippers. So it's the Spurs now. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Pass to Johnson. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
Getting to the line, something this team wants more of from Keldon Johnson.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
They've been lights out from three-point land in this one. The defense hasn't been effective at stopping them, so they have just stuck with the game plan.
And we also got to talk about the damage they've done inside. The opposition having a hard time keeping that ball out of the paint.
So Johnson, it's two of them.
Given everything he's got, Keldon Johnson's a guy you want on your side. Why? He doesn't let up.
Here's Mann. And the layup's good off the glass.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And this is what happens when you start to break your opponent's spirit. The resistance is no longer there.
The Spurs have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Jones dishes to Jang. From deep. Rebounded by Covington. Now the Clippers with it. They're on a 14-4 run. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Leonard finds Covington. Outside, Batum. There's the three. Drills it from outside.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Clippers.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And they took charge when it counted, and they'll be notching their 9th win overall.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for George.
He really played at his preferred pace, never let adjustments by the defense speed him up or slow him down.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
30 seconds left in the game. Stolen. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
And I'm sure next time he sits down, coach is going to have a few choice words for him with that shot selection.
And you know what? He knows it. You have to try to play within the system or you're going to come away with empty possessions.
So the Clippers winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And we've got David Aldridge standing by on our sideline with the player of the game. David, it's all yours.
Thanks very much. Kawhi, how satisfied are you with your team's performance tonight in this win?
We did a great job tonight. You know, we got to come in every game with the defensive hat on first, and we did that tonight. We made shots, and we ended up winning the game.
You took it to them when it mattered, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And now, we present the New Balance Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.